Though many skeptics predict an economic recession at any time, the global stock market is still chugging ahead. Trade tensions and a lack of consumer confidence have tempered growth in the last few months, but that hasn't stopped the world's business behemoths from increasing their value at a staggering rate. From tech giants to investment juggernauts, we are counting down the top 10 most valuable companies in the world. Coming in at number 10 is Tencent, with a valuation of $393.5 billion. Tencent was founded by Ma Huateng, also known as Pony Ma, in 1998. Ma Huateng is the richest man in China, according to the Forbes World's Billionaires list. The entrepreneur grew up in southern China. After graduating from Shenzhen University with a degree in computer science in 1993, he landed a job developing software for pagers. At the time, China had an average of just one computer for every 100 people. Still, Ma stayed in Shenzhen, making $176 per month at his first job. As a result, he had a front row seat to China's tech boom in the mid-1990s. Since then, Tencent has pivoted to include numerous facets of the tech world, including search engines, e-commerce, retail, video games, real estate, software, virtual reality, ride-sharing, banking, financial services, fintech, consumer technology, computer technology, automobiles, film production, movie ticketing, music production, space technology, natural resources, smartphones, and big data, among many others. It is the kind of tech conglomerate that seems to have its hands in every industry. JPMorgan Chase is the largest bank in the United States and was ranked by S&P Global as the 6th largest bank in the world by total assets and the 9th largest company overall. Its assets amount to roughly $2.534 trillion. It is the world's most valuable bank by market capitalization. The company itself is valued at $397.3 billion. JPMorgan Chase is essentially an enormous banking conglomerate that combines the assets of some of the world's largest lenders over the last few years. These include Chase Manhattan Bank, JPMorgan & Co., Bank One, Bear Stearns, and Washington Mutual. But the history of JPMorgan Chase goes back much further than that and has its roots in the founding of the United States. In fact, it was a business dispute between Burr's firm and Alexander Hamilton's Bank of New York that eventually led to the infamous duel that killed America's first Treasury Secretary. The bank was founded all the way back in 1799, mere decades after America won its independence from Britain. Centuries of acquisitions later, the bank is a major player in the world economy, earning them the distinction of the 9th most valuable company in the world. Visa's history begins in 1958, when Bank of America initiated its Bank AmeriCard program in Fresno, California. Originally, the company only planned to provide the system across the state, but in 1965, Bank of America started to subscribe licensing agreements with a collection of banks outside California. In the following years, Visa became a huge player in the burgeoning use of credit cards across the world, and it's currently in use in nearly every country on Earth. Nearly all Visa transactions worldwide are processed through the company's directly operated VisaNet at one of the 4 secure data centers located in Ashburn, Virginia, Highlands Ranch, Colorado, London, England, and Singapore. These facilities are heavily secured against natural disasters, crime, and terrorism, can operate independently of each other and from external utilities if necessary, and can handle up to 30,000 simultaneous transactions and up to 100 billion computations every second. And each of these transactions earns Visa a small fee. That's helped them earn an overall valuation of $402 billion. There are more than 1.4 billion Visa cards in circulation, or 1 for every 7 people living on Earth. Alibaba Group Holding Limited is a Chinese multinational conglomerate specializing in e-commerce, retail, and technology. In December 1999, toward the tail end of the dot-com craze, a group of 18 people, led by Jack Ma, started a wholesale online marketplace called Alibaba. In the 19 years since its inception in a small apartment in Hangzhou, the Chinese company has blossomed into one of the most diverse and valuable corporations in the world. Jack Ma was first introduced to the internet on a visit to the United States in the 90s. A few years later, he decided to bet on the promising technology, and having secured $5 million in funding from a consortium of investors, started the Alibaba Group. The launch of Alibaba's online retail platforms, Alibaba.com and 1688.com, was fortunately timed. The consumer internet boom had only just arrived in China, and the local market wasn't as direly affected by the dot-com crash as its American counterpart. With a valuation of $466 billion, Alibaba earned the number 7 spot on this countdown. Known as the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett is an investment guru and one of the richest and most respected businessmen in the world. Born in Nebraska in 1930, Warren Buffett demonstrated keen business abilities at a young age. He formed Buffett Partnership Limited in 1956, and by 1965 he had assumed control of Berkshire Hathaway, overseeing the growth of a conglomerate with holdings in the media, insurance, energy, and food and beverage industries. Buffett became one of the world's richest men and a celebrated philanthropist. Berkshire Hathaway traces its roots to a textile manufacturing company established by Oliver Chase in 1839 as the Valley Falls Company in Valley Falls, Rhode Island. Through an odd series of events, Buffett became the owner of this textile manufacturer more than a century later and spun the failing business into an investment juggernaut the likes of which have never been seen before or since. The company now owns part or all of Geico, Duracell, Dairy Queen, BNSF Railway, Helzberg Diamonds, Long & Foster, Flight Safety International, Pampered Chef, and NetJets, and also owns 38.6% of Pilot Flying J, 26.7% of the Kraft Heinz Company, and significant minority holdings in American Express, Wells Fargo, the Coca-Cola Company, Bank of America, and Apple. It is valued at $522 billion, making it the sixth most valuable company in the world. Facebook is an extremely controversial company, but none of its recent scandals have put a damper on either profits or popularity. Facebook is in a league of its own. For example, Facebook's 2.4 billion users make up 31% of the world's population. Founded in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook quickly became one of the most popular websites in the world. The website's membership was initially limited by the founders to Harvard students, but was expanded to other colleges in the Boston area, then the Ivy League, and gradually most universities in the United States and Canada. The company is currently valued at $542 billion, despite a host of scandals plaguing it. Many have taken issue with Facebook's frequent privacy breaches and the tepid release of its fledgling cryptocurrency Libra. Rumors that Facebook is about to purchase Yelp will only bolster its roster, including WhatsApp and Instagram, among others. Amazon.com is the largest e-commerce site in the world. Initially only serving as an online book market, the Seattle-based company has set the standards for cloud computing and all manner of online sales. Amazon is the largest internet company by revenue in the world. It is the second largest employer in the United States, and also the fourth most valuable company in the world by market capitalization. Amazon.com was started by Jeff Bezos in 1994. He was able to secure funding from his friend Nick Hanauer. This first investment of $40,000 was joined by a larger $100,000 investment from a former colleague, Tom Alberg, that helped make the new website more user-friendly. Bezos, a Princeton graduate who had been working in the financial sector, quit his job and made a move into the crowded .com craze because he had read that online business was growing at a rate of 5,000% a year. The rest is history. He is the wealthiest person in the world, and Amazon has bucked the trend of other tech firms that have floundered in the last year, like Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. Amazon receives 197 million unique visitors per month. That has helped to earn a valuation of $878 billion. Though it was once the most valuable company in the world, it has recently dropped to number 4. Google is by far the most visited website in the world. Google's history began in 1995 when Larry Page met Sergey Brin. Google is a play on words of Google, which is a mathematical term for the number 1 followed by 100 zeros. It is rumored that this reflects on the founder's mission to organize the infinite amount of information on the internet. After decades of dominating the search engine market, they spun the company off into the parent company called Alphabet. The separation between the Alphabet Incorporated main business, search, and other companies provides the company with the safe place to carry out experiments. Each company within the Alphabet umbrella will be headed by a CEO, who will report to Page, which allows the respective head to determine the best course of action without worrying about its effect on the search engine cash cow. With a valuation of $882 billion, Alphabet safely secured the number 3 position. Entrepreneur and businessman Bill Gates and his business partner Paul Allen founded and built the world's largest software business, Microsoft, through technological innovation, keen business strategy, and aggressive business tactics. In the process, Gates became one of the richest men in the world. Still virtually synonymous with its founder, Microsoft continues to be one of the most successful companies in the world, nearly 50 years after its conception. Between their now ubiquitous operating system Windows and their suite of applications including Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, the company is still a contender long after the
the fall of the dot-com bubble. In 2018, Microsoft surpassed Apple as the most valuable publicly traded company in the world, after having been dethroned by Apple in 2010. In April 2019, Microsoft reached the $1 trillion market cap, becoming the third U.S. public company to be valued at over $1 trillion, after Apple and Amazon respectively. Until recently, they were the most valuable company in the world, but they recently dropped to number 2, with a valuation of $1.1 trillion. Apple is the sort of once-in-a-generation company that captures the whole world's imagination and convinces them to buy luxury products, even when they are out of their price range. Apple Computers Incorporated was founded on April 1, 1976, by college dropouts Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, who brought to the new company a vision of changing the way people viewed computers. Jobs and Wozniak wanted to make computers small enough for people to have them in their homes and offices. Simply put, they wanted a computer that was user-friendly. Now, more than 43 years later, Jobs has passed away, but his legacy continues through this truly monumental company that maintains its status as an industry titan. As of January 2018, more than 1.3 billion Apple products are actively in use worldwide. The company also has a high level of brand loyalty and is ranked as the world's most valuable brand. However, Apple receives significant criticism regarding the labor practices of its contractors, its environmental practices and unethical business practices, including anti-competitive behavior, as well as the origins of source materials. Regardless, a recent earnings report proved that Apple is still on top, with a valuation of $1.26 trillion, making it the most valuable company in the world.